we are giving away this asset, our most valuable asset. So there's time is probably the most valuable. The only thing more valuable than the time, because it's finite, it's done when it's done for us, at least in these meat suits.
Yeah.
Is attention. It's focused time. That is the most valuable thing. And when I launched my podcast, I launched them as NFTs. So no ads. The amount of money we made on that first launch, it would have taken 600,000 downloads of like a 2-minute ad, right? So 1.2 million minutes. It's like 69 years of collective time. I went down and I broke all of Joe Rogan's advertisements across all of his podcast episodes when he was at like around 1740 or something. The collective attention of our society that we have spent listening to ads on Joe Rogan's podcast was like 66,000 years. And Rogan himself has spent almost a year of his life, of his waking hours, recording ads, assuming he knocked each one out immediately, which
you probably had a couple takes.
You know, there's always more takes than one.
Yes.
Like, I wish people could just, wake up a little bit to realize that this is not free. In fact, it's more expensive than $5 a month. Like, far more expensive. So what we're trying to do in one of the experiments, I don't know if this is the right answer. This comes with a ton of other externalities, just as any piece of change does. But at least this incentive to me, the physics of it is a lot more direct. It's a lot more clear. So I want to build a gamified business model for media. And so what that looks like is when you are a super fan of somebody, you have spent 500, 1,000, 10,000 hours on their content. You know them super well, which is crazy because they don't know you at all probably, but you know them super well. And that's actually a skill that you have invested time into that should be rewarded. And so how we're doing this is, and this is where our MVP and what I've kind of tested and did a proof of concept for with my podcast, is doing this thing called meme farming. So essentially what we're going to do is if you own an NFT to be able to listen to the live stream of this podcast, you can then compete with all the other people there to find the most fire clips. So you're being rewarded by knowing their content, knowing what's likely to go viral. And this is what I did for Aubrey too, right? Like I got so into Aubrey, I then tried to pick the content that would go the most viral on Instagram. I would find those clips, the exact moment where it started, get the goat going at the beginning, which is kind of like this thing where it draws people in, and then you do the music, and then now we go through the whole quote, building it to the desire of the platforms that we're on, optimizing all of that stuff. That was a skill I built and I was paid for it. But fans can actually go and you can open source this. So you will no longer need this team to build these clips for you because, sorry guys, because
we'll still need you in some way.
Yes. There will be room for everyone because you can open source with the fans, and then the fans can actually then sell those as NFTs. And now you guys, instead of it being adversarial in nature, instead of you selling the fans information, content, even sincerely, but like that's the transaction that's going on. They now face the same way you do. They have an incentive to grow your show, to be your marketing arm, because if your show gets bigger, if more people listen, if more people join the tribe, the value of things they own goes up in value.
Hey, if you love that clip, you'll love this full episode linked right here on this screen. This is where we go even deeper and offer some solutions and some practical things that you can do and you can learn so that your life can be lived more well. I'll see you during the full episode.